from beautiful Thailand, from northern Thailand, from, guess where? Chiang Mai. And it is a really nice day. There's, I don't know, there's a light cloud in the sky, like a light cover of cloud, but the sun's still coming through, as you can see. And it's yeah, it's really good. Unfortunately, as the thumbnail implied, we won't have a visitor of the pussycat that was in the thumbnail because, unfortunately, the restaurant that I was going to go to that has the cat lives at was not open. In fact, I had 3 choices of cafes, coffee shops to go to this morning, and you wouldn't believe it, they're all closed. The one down the road here, my second choice, was closed, and I'm looking on Google Maps, it says open from 8 a.m. Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, open now. I come up the road, I thought, oh well, I've got to find somewhere to do the live stream, so I rode a bit further up the road here and discovered this place called Tamao Coffee. Again, there's a sign out in front that says open, but it's all closed, there's nobody here. Checked on Google Maps, it says it's open. So, I don't know what's going on, everything's closed. So I thought, well, there's a nice veranda here, and maybe someone will come along and I can get a nice morning cappuccino and maybe a bit of cake or something. But just as I always do, as backup, I bought some water. Yeah, bought some water. And I bought some bread, which are like the raisin loaf. You buy this in 7-Eleven. It's, yeah, raisin buns. I picked them up last night, so I bought them out. I always have a bag of those. There's 3 of them in a packet to bring them for the trip out here. But anyway, yeah, so if I see somebody, I'll be able to order a cappuccino. It's funny because my bike's parked right out the front here. I'm on this reasonably main, busy little side road here, and you can tell who the locals are. They see my bike there at the front, and then they look at me and look here, and I don't know whether they think the place is not normally open today, or whether they're wondering, why is he parked there? That place isn't open. But the sign's out. Look, I'll turn the camera around for a second, you'll see. See, there's a sign out over there that says open. You know, it looks like a nice place. You know, looks pretty nice. But yeah. Anyway, and I don't think they have a cat. At least a cat hasn't come by since I've been here for the last 15 minutes. So traffic's a little bit noisy, although you probably won't notice. I'm wearing my DJI microphone under here, out of sight. So that should muffle the sound a bit. And should be coming through clear. So hey, we've got 10, 12 or so listening, so say hello in chat if you can. Let me know where you're watching from. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. It's free to subscribe. The thumbs up button helps too. And the mic is really soft, is it? Okay. Well, I could bring it up a little bit. I just didn't want to show the, you know, it's sort of. Let me try it here. See if this makes a difference. We'll put it on the side there. How's that? Okay, it doesn't look as good, but there we go. It's probably a lot clearer now. There we are. Yeah, so testing 1, 2. So good morning, Paul J. I'm just going to put that little, they had this little magnetic clip on them. Really good microphone. So there we go. So yeah, it's a really nice day here. And really all I was going to talk about today was some of the things that you see on YouTube. Better? Okay, good. All right. In fact, it probably looks better, and I don't really need that on there. There we go. Try that. This is really only for wind, and there's not even a breeze. There's not even a breath of air out here. Everything is dead still, so no need for the dead cat, I think. Yes, the microphone is working. I can see it going up and down. So maybe try your volume a bit. Okay? I've got my volume up as high as I can go without it hitting the orange. But anyway, yeah, I was going to talk about YouTube, really, and how it affects your view on things depending on what your interests are, or what it thinks your interests are. I've noticed this happening over the last month or so, where, you know, what's yeah, that's good. What is the thing with YouTube? I'm finding is that, all right, I like searching for YouTube videos on other providers like myself around Asia, and you know, listening to them and that sort of thing. And also I like YouTube videos on different places to visit around in Thailand and places to travel. But the moment you go in there and think, oh, for instance, what was it? There was something I wanted to buy. Oh, that's right. I was looking for glasses. Yeah. So on YouTube, I checked up on glasses. Was it YouTube or Google? I think it was Google. Where do I find places to get glasses near me? You know, or I find, or just something off topic to what you usually find. And what happens is, within an hour or less, you go back into YouTube and open up to your home page, and suddenly all the usual recommendations that you're getting on videos to watch that of your interest are suddenly now telling me about glasses and sunglasses and optometrists and getting your eyes checked. And like, it was just a one-off thing that I thought at the moment that I'm not really concerned about now. Everything's fine. But YouTube thinks that, oh, suddenly your interests have changed and you get less of what you really are interested in and more of this stuff because you just searched for it. And I'm finding it's very, can be very misleading, because a lot of people are watching. Hey Jeffrey, how are you, buddy? Welcome, mate. Oh, we've got someone coming in. Maybe they work here. Hello.
Hello.
You work here?
Yes.
Oh, good. I thought no open. I didn't know. That's okay. When you're ready, and I'll.
Okay, wait about 20 minutes.
No rush. No good. That's okay. Cup. Okay. So there we go. I'm going to get my cappuccino after. So there we go. Yeah. Well, cross-app sharing of information. Well, you know, Google and YouTube are owned by the same people, right? It's all tied in. It's sharing of information. But what I wanted to mention was that there's a lot of storms happening down in the south of Thailand at the moment. A lot of flooding. There's a lot of really bad flooding happening down there, and the only reason I noticed that was because I saw something in the news came up in my browser that wasn't on Google or anything like that. So I went and had a look at something about it, and I said, oh yeah, way down south they got thousands of people displaced and all that, and it's all done. So what happened was that now I find that any bad weather events happening anywhere in the world seemed to be pushed at me. You know, like the flooding they had over in Europe, the flooding we had here in Chiang Mai in Thailand, the rain, this bad rain down in Pattaya a couple of days ago, and other places, Australia going through some heat waves and stuff. But you get all this bad news because you just searched one thing on bad news. But if you changed your search and went, where's it nice and sunny weather right now, or where is the perfect weather right now, all of a sudden all the information being pushed into your face will be about good things and nice places to go on holiday and places to visit, and the weather's perfect here and this is a great place to go. And it's all affecting what your outlook on everything is, right? You know, tell me about it. You're talking about, yeah, they'll pick up on your discussion as well. Yeah, I've had Facebook pick up, give ads on something that I was talking about. Oh, for sure. That's right. Malaysia, of course, terrible flooding there as well. Yep. So, this is one reason why I try to avoid watching any news at all, if I can. Sure, big events I'll hear about from other people, or I'll see something in the news about if I just happen to be glancing at different web pages and stuff, but I don't actively go out and look for any particular news network or media platform, because it's all, to me, I think it's all biased one way or the other to get views, pretty much. I mean, the world is, I'm having a bit of a rant, but the world is run by advertising and the money, and everybody's chasing the money, and it goes right down to affecting what you're watching. What you're watching on your mobile phone, on your computer, is what they gather from your information of interest to you, and it's going to make you watch the advertising that comes with it. So, but yeah, you can talk to your phone. Like, for instance, I've had times where noisy truck. Glad I don't live on this road. Wow. There's a, if I say, you know, say cat food, you know, 9 times out of 10 tomorrow I'll be looking at doing Google searches and stuff, and I'll probably see ads for commercials and people trying to sell me cat food, because, you know, it's listening. I think it's listening. I think everything's listening to us. Wet season in Malaysia at this time. Yeah, okay. I actually watched a video on Malaysia. A YouTuber there was talking about the cost of living in Malaysia. I was wondering how that compares to the cost of Thailand. And he went through and he just talked about your basic stuff. Wow. I really haven't picked a busy damn road, haven't I? This must be a shortcut for something, to get somewhere. I'm going to turn the camera a bit so you can see. We just position this a little bit more. Oh, you still can't really see down there, can you? Anyway, trust me when I say there's trucks going by. So, yeah. But he was saying about the cost of living over there, just the basic stuff, you know, the cost of getting a coffee, a breakfast, on the roadside compared to in a shopping centre, the cost of generally clothes and where you go to get them. So you could really do a good comparison. He's putting the price up there in Malaysian ringgit, but then he put it up there as US dollars as comparison. And it looked really cheap. It looked much cheaper than here in Thailand for some reason. You know, I mean, a coffee was the equivalent of about 20 cents. You know, I mean, I'll come here and pay $1. Maybe, well, no, I won't. Coffee in here is probably going to cost me about 40 baht, so that's less than $2. Or in US, it's about $1.30 US, so that's all okay. And is it coming through the camera? Really? Let me just try and fiddle with this. I'm going to press a button here that hopefully won't mess things up. Let's just turn this 7. All right, now I've just turned up the volume on the receiver. See if that makes a difference. So it's coming through here, not on the camera. Okay. Yeah. So 3 Malaysian ringgit to 1 Aussie dollar, which means nothing to me unless I know what I can buy for 3 Malaysian ringgit. I mean, he showed some rentals on there, rental properties that seem quite expensive, you know. Really? No change. Okay. I'm gonna unplug the camera. Hope this doesn't muck up my stream. There we go. I've taken the camera out. The speaker off. There we go. Okay. See if that makes a difference. Hopefully it will. Otherwise, we'll just have to stay where we are and get this sorted across. Right. There we go. And that's it there. Alright, well don't worry about the microphone then. The sound's the way it is. I can't do anything about it unless I want to stop the stream and redo it. I can't do that. So, you can hear me. That's all that matters. So, anyway. Yeah, so it was interesting to see the costs. I didn't see much. Accommodation didn't look a lot cheaper, although that can be varied depending on a lot of things of where you are and the size of the place and things like that. But for some reason, the accommodation seemed to be quite expensive. He said it was a renter's market down there, but the couple of examples he did show seemed quite expensive. So I don't know about that. So, but here it's still very cheap. I don't know how it compares to other countries, but you know, the fact is that, you know, a lot of people, you know, they say, well, why did you move to Thailand? Why did you choose Thailand to live in? There was a lot of reasons, really, other than, I mean, the cost, how cheap it is was one thing. Get that down a bit. There we go. Hey, Michael, how are you, buddy? Welcome. Welcome. So the cost was one reason. It's very cheap here, and I like the culture here. I like the people. I just like the people. I've never come across anyone that is not smiling and going out of their way to help and give a service to you. You know, no matter what their job. If they're the checkout girl in a supermarket or they're packing the shelves, you go over and ask them to help with something, they smile and they will help you straight away. Hey, Ropin, how are you, buddy? From the Sunshine Coast up in northern Queensland. Welcome. So, there's no grumpy people here. Australia, I don't care if it's controversial or not. Australia is full of grumpy, miserable people, in my experience. And I'm talking about in Sydney. Okay? I go down to 7-Eleven and buy something. That person, there's no good morning, no good afternoon, or have a nice day, or nothing. It's just, that'll be $4.50. No thanks, nothing. Over here, you will get hello, good morning. You'll say, you'll get have a nice day, and you'll get a thank you every fucking place you go here. Because that's what's happened to me. And maybe I'm just lucky. Maybe I just go to the right places, but it's just the way it is. It's just super, super friendly like that. And that was the big attraction for Thailand. Now, maybe it's like that in Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, Indonesia, Philippines also. I don't know. But Thailand has been the country I've travelled in the most and been exposed to the most. And hey, it's got what I want. I want to be a part of that. You know, I worked in the service industry all my life, you know, where when I was a butcher, I was an apprentice butcher, my boss drummed into my head, customer is number one, customer is always right. The customer is your business. And that's how he was successful and had a good business going. And that's how you succeed. These days, it's not like that anymore. It's not at all like that, you know. Especially the bigger the company is, they seem to think they have less to lose, or that they've got control of the market and they don't have to treat customers like anything, you know. I'll tell you now, I work out, check out Paris and both cities, check out, I worked for a company that supplied windscreens and vehicle windscreens and glass all over Australia, right? And we were one of the 2 major suppliers in Australia, okay? So we had the market. It's like Coles and Woolworths, all right? There are a couple of smaller ones like your Aldi and stuff, but we had the market. And the first thing I noticed when I was starting to work for them, it was how we sell direct to the suppliers and the windscreen fitters, like Windscreens O'Brien's and Instant Windscreens, and these companies that go around and fit windscreens everywhere, right? We supplied them. Now, this company, the manager and the staff running the warehouse and filling the orders that are coming in, and then vans and trucks are coming in to pick up all these windscreens and glass, the way they speak to their customers is absolutely shocking. You know, there's a difference between the way you speak to your mates at the pub, okay? But when you're running a business and you have customers, okay, you need to show respect, a bit of respect. You don't tell them how the F are you and what a C of the day it is, and the language was just absolutely filthy. You wouldn't talk to people. I don't care how long you've known them, if they've been coming there for years and years. It's so rude, and they do it to people that haven't been there before as well. They treat them all the same. And when I approached the customer, when I approached my manager, and I actually said to him, why do you speak to everybody like that? Because they do it to the staff as well. It just trickles down the line, you know. Why do you treat the people coming in? They're your business. They're what for keeping your company going, these suppliers. He said, they're not customers. They are contractors. They deal with customers. We deal with them. They are not the customer. The customer's ordering the glass from them and getting it fitted. They have to be as nice as they want to the customer. We don't give a shit about them as long as they come to us for the glass. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. And you know, I worked there for a couple of years, and I can tell you, over the 2 years that I worked for there, my job was going out, driving a truck, travelling to Canberra, out west to Orange and Bathurst and places, and delivering to the glass to the people, to these fitters a distance away that can't come and pick them up. And I was nice to them, all right? I'm nice to them, and they got along with me, and I got along with them fine. They're really nice. The whole 2 years I worked for them, not once did I ever have a new customer to deliver to. It was the same ones, the same suppliers and windscreen fitters, all the individual small businesses that work from their home and go out and do this and trying to make a business for themselves. They weren't getting none of those customers. They were all going to the competition, probably because they got treated with a bit more respect and better. So, you know, I really feel that eventually over time that the company is going to just fail, because they will start losing business. Terrible. Anyway, And Joe's there. I'll show you a message. YouTube asked me if I wanted to show or hide that message, and I said another moderator handled it. I was going to show that, but that's okay. That's okay. I can handle a bit of what was it? Joe there said, "You suck." That's all right. I need a good laugh. Excuse me while I eat a bit more of my raisin muffin. But the whole thing is, I don't see that here in Thailand. Maybe if I spoke the language, I would probably understand what they're probably saying behind my back. You know, they're probably, you know, saying stupid foreigner or whatever. I don't know, but I haven't experienced it. You know, I mean, I've had to pull into mechanic places along the road because my on my motorcycle here, the holder for my mobile phone had come loose, and I just needed it tightening. But it has one of those Allen keys tools, and I thought, oh, just keep an eye out for a motorcycle place, and they're everywhere, you know, doing repairs. And there was a couple of times where I pulled over and I looked in there and I pointed at this and I said, you know, fix. They shake their head and say no, and I'd have to leave. They wouldn't do it. And all right, fair enough. They missed out on a nice, decent tip I was going to give them. So, you know. So yeah, no, this is why. There it is. There he is. Thanks, Joe. You're welcome, mate. So I think. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I moved here, and then along with all the ridings and the mountains and all the roads, fantastic place to go around and have a look at, especially up here in the north, up the north of Thailand here. Some amazing places I'm just starting to get out to now. I've been out to Pai and a few other areas, and I'm going to get out a bit further. This is the top peak tourist season up here now, and it is getting a bit busier, I've noticed, but I'm not in the city, in the old city area of Chiang Mai, so we don't get a lot of tourists where I am, although there's a hotel next door, but it doesn't seem busier than normal. But the weather's good here. Now, it doesn't rain during the day here, very, very rarely. Temperatures are down by about 10 degrees, you know. It never got over 30 yesterday. It got up to about 28. That was it. And that's not until, you know, about 3 in the afternoon. The nights get down to 20. That's quite cool for here. So, you know, yeah, it's a really nice time to be here. Okay? Sorry, I have to eat. I haven't had breakfast. One of my hobbies over here is I play computer games. I've always been a gamer since computers became personal home computers. I'm playing one at the moment that's called Once Human. And it's quite a good survival sort of game with PvP and PvE, but mostly PvE. PvP is optional. And this morning they had this big update for us. So all of us, everyone playing on this server, there's this map, okay, and it was called the winter map. But now it's opened up and there's whole new areas of this map all opened up now where you can do gathering and mining and new quests and all the rest of it, and build your house or your fortress and that, all right, and your base. So at 7 o'clock this morning, I'm waiting there online with my character, and he's got a motorbike in there because I knew where I wanted to get to in the new map that opened up. It was an area on a lake that has special resources around that I'm going to use to do my mining and so forth. So I rushed. So as soon as the map became live, jumped on the motorbike and I rode out there, and everybody else is heading out to all their favourite places all around the map in the game. and then putting down their plot and claiming their land in the best location. And I'm so glad I got exactly where I wanted to be, but I almost stuffed it up, because what happened was my land is a certain size, and then later you can expand it bigger, which you want to do. When I went over there, I claimed my spot right where I want to be, but then I realized the person who claimed his spot next to me blocked me from expanding mine, so I would be restricted to a smaller size lot of land. Oh no. So I quickly moved my land across so that I could reclaim, but there was a cool down period of 10 minutes. A 10 minutes cool down period, and I'm watching the timer go, and I'm waiting, and I'm just praying that nobody else would come along and steal my spot. And then finally, when the 10 minutes was up, I hit yes, and I claimed it, confirm, and boom, I got my perfect spot. So all good, happy. The things you get when you get into computer gaming, so exciting. And I'm really with a really good war group, a group in there that help each other out, and they're really supportive doing all that stuff, so it's quite addictive. So there you go. 20 would be hot for me, says Paul. Yeah, I'm dealing with -5. Yeah, I had a guy who put it, what was it, a picture on Facebook. He's up in Canada somewhere, I'm not sure what part, but it was -20, 24, 25, feels like -36 or something. It's like, wow, unbelievable. You know, I mean, as long as I'm here, hey Anthony, hey, welcome mate, welcome. As long as I'm here in Thailand, I will probably never feel cold again. You know, until I become acclimatized like the Thais. Like, you see Thais, you know, if it gets down below, say 25, that's cold for them, and they're all wearing their long sleeve jumpers and pullovers and keeping warm. But you see them on the bike now and riding around, they're all wearing long sleeve. But they do that anyway because that's to keep the sun off you. That's why I'm wearing this long sleeve. This is one of these proper, it's that material that breathes, you know, the air goes through, it gets airflow, but it stops you getting sunburned. Riding on a motorbike like this, first thing, your arms get sunburned. So they're protecting themselves from the sun, not necessarily because they're cold. But I will never, I mean, I doubt it will get very much below, I don't know, 20 here. So, you know. Morning Pete, what's the name of your game you're talking about? It's called Once Human. It's a free game, it costs nothing. Once Human. Okay, it's really addictive, it's heaps fun. I just like that PvE stuff, and I like how you can build your house and design it how you want, lay things out, and then you can start producing oil and acid and all these other products that you can sell in the game to other people creating things from it. Fuel, you can mine oil, turn it into fuel, all this stuff. It's really good. Look up snowfall for Buffalo, New York. Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I bet it's cold. Hey? Christmas in New York. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, your girl wears heavy long sleeve at 30. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. They don't like the sun, do they? It's amazing. Like, and they'll even go to the trouble of making their skin as white as possible as well, because they find that's more attractive and makes them look more Western. And yet, you know, if you ask me, I think most Western guys come here for those beautiful girls with their Thai tans, right? You know, Thai tans. I just love a Thai tan, you know. Don't put that white stuff on, you know. If I want a white person, I wouldn't be here. Anyway, Jackie saying, rents in Malaysia are usually cheaper than Thailand, yep, but LTV in Malaysia sucks. Oh, okay. I might be thinking of Cambodia, not Malaysia, but it was, I think Cambodia, it was $300 a year for your visa to retire there. You don't need to show money in the bank like you do here. There's all these other things. There's no 90-day reporting, any of that. Even over here, if you're on that 5-year destination, if you're on a 5-year destination visa that they recently brought out for here, you still got to do your 90-day reporting on that. So, but why do people make a big deal of that? So what? You've got to go to immigration 4 times a year. All right. If it's anything like I've been, you hop on your motorbike. It takes 10 minutes to ride there. They have a ride-through, a drive-through immigration. All right. It's one piece of paper you fill out. If you don't live anywhere else each time, you just fill out the same information: your passport, your visa, where you live, sign it. And you hand that over with your passport, with your residence certificate that's already in your passport, and you hand that into the window. He stamps and does his things and hands back you with a little slip of paper in your passport telling you the date to come back in 3 months. Done. And it doesn't cost anything. And you can do it online if that works for you. It didn't work for me. But yeah, so you can do it online as well. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. I can understand if you live out in the sticks somewhere and there's no immigration office and you've got to make an hour trip to do that, and maybe they don't have, like here in Chiang Mai, they have not only a drive-through for your 90-day reporting, they have a walk-through window as well. I don't know about everywhere else in Thailand, but it's nothing. It's not like you're going to spend the whole day at immigration to do it. It's not like that. And it's, like I say, once every 3 months. And it doesn't have to be on that day either. Okay? It's only got to be, I think it's, you got 2 weeks before the date and up to a week after the date to do it in person. So you just plan it on your next trip into town when you're going to go to the movies or shopping or whatever where immigration is. And it's so you're not going and making a special trip for it. It's easy. So I did a video on it, on how I went through doing mine, and it was a breeze. I was all worried and nervous, and I thought, oh, I hope this works out, and I hope I've got all this filled out properly, right? And as it turns out, the form didn't make much sense, okay? Because you can watch the video I made on it. So again, subscribe. You can go back and watch it. You can watch it anyway, but and not subscribe. But that's, you know. But you can go back and have a look. The information on that form wasn't really clear. Like you got to put in your province, the area, the city, all this other stuff, and get your street and all that address accurate, and fill that out and then hand it over. What I did was I bought the little business card for the condo I live at, which has the address on it. Okay, I left that blank on the sheet and I gave it to the immigration office at the window at the drive-through. And I said I wasn't sure how to fill this part out, but there's my address on the condo's buildings card. No problem, right? So I watched him. He didn't write it out. He left that blank on my form, stapled the other stuff to it, put it on the pile, handed me back my passport, and then I went. He didn't even bother filling it out. And I really do think that all that paperwork just goes into another room and sits on another pile, and nobody goes through and checks any of it. All that he's done is just acknowledged it in the computer so that it's registered I've done my 90-day reporting. The reason I think that there's no checks done on the paperwork is, and that he didn't put it in the computer, my address either. He's probably just ticked the box next to my name when it's come up that I've done my 90-day reporting. All those details, I don't think they're on the computer. They're just on the paperwork. All right, they don't have to fill it out and put it on the computer. Reason being, I'm getting to, is 3 months later I tried to do it online. I went through, I filled it out online, I put all the details in there, and it got refused. It went through and it was rejected. I think it was rejected because it came back and it said there was no record of my residential address. It's because the officer didn't fill it out on that form. So we'll see what happens next month when I go back and do it again. But when I got rejected, I thought, well, I'm not even going to try to resubmit it again. So I've gone, right, I just grabbed my passport and I went straight to the immigration, grabbed another form. I didn't even fill that one out. I got the guys, there's these volunteers that sit there at a desk and they help you. And I said, could you just write my address? There's the card again. He wrote the address in there, right, as it was on the card, but he wrote it in Thai, all right, not in English. So I said, thank you, and I went, and then I went through the walkthrough of the drive-through part. 5 minutes, girl at the window, done, passport's back, I'm done. Now, if I try and do it online next time, I got a feeling it's going to get rejected again because of the fact that I can't write it in Thai when I do it online. And yet now they have it on record in Thai. See? So I'm not going to bother. Like I say, immigration from where I live is a 10-minute motorbike ride. And you get in that, you get there and the cars go through very quickly. You're there for 10 minutes at the most and you're gone. And come back 3 months later. It's no big deal. So there you go. That's my experience with 90-day reporting, and it's not a big deal here in Thailand. It's, you know, it's certainly not a something that I would tick on the list of these are the things that I don't want in Thailand that will make me live somewhere else. You know, it's not like, well, stuff that. I'm not doing that every 90 days. I'm going to go to Cambodia instead. It's not like that. There are so many other reasons to be living here that picking another country is just not an option just because of something silly like that. Even that goes as far as the 800,000 baht that you need to have in your Thai bank account. Okay. Now, if you haven't got 800,000 in your Thai bank account, then you shouldn't even be thinking about retiring and living here. All right, you need to have a bit more money than that. How are you going to survive? You do need more money than that because you can't spend that money. That money is it has to be in there. You can't go below that amount. All right, so you need your 800,000 plus what you've saved up to come over here to live. Or if you're retired and collecting a pension, then that's fine. You've got income coming in from your pension. Or if you're working remotely and you've got income, or whatever the reason, you've got other money coming in, that's fine. But to have that 800,000, all right, it's what, $20-something thousand, you know? People say, you know, well, you're not going to earn any interest on it over here in a Thai bank account. You know, and even if you left it in a Western bank account, even you make 5%. If you make 5% income, I'm no good at math, but 5% income interest on a, say, $20,000 US dollars, on $20,000 US dollars. How much is that? I don't know. Let's say that's what, $200, is it? Is that right? Or is it more than that? I mean, even if it's $1,000 spread over a year, big deal. It's not much, is it? Again, it's not a reason to not live here in Thailand. You know, you just put the money in a separate bank account and don't touch it and just leave it. No problems. So, again, it's all up to everybody's individual situation. Save money on everything. How are you, buddy? I'm going to have another bite. I'm wondering if I can get a coffee soon. No other customers have been in yet. So, you know, I budgeted to be able to live here for 2.5 years. Okay, Trip's there. Hello, Trip. To live here for 2.5 years. Now, I'm going to live here my rest of my life if I can, but on the money I needed was to last me 2.5 years, because when I turn 60, then I have access to my Australian superannuation, and then I'm sweet. I'm fine, and for another 7 years, at least that's the retirement age, before I can go and finally claim my pension from Australia. Okay. Also, because I've come out here so early before my retirement age, I am entitled to my full pension, because I have worked the minimum accumulated years of my working life in Australia as an Australian citizen. So even though I've come out and left the country 12 years before my retirement pension age, I've done enough years of my working life to still entitle me to a pension. And that's something very important that people need to check. And it all depends on the year you were born, and how many working years you've been basically working and paying your taxes here. And I've been working continuously for since I was 16, 17. All right, I've never been unemployed by choice. Not by my own choice, so there you go. Yes, that's right, and I've budgeted for that as well, and that's going to be a very tough part of my life, to have to go back to Australia for 2 years when I'm 65. At 65, I have to jump on a plane, say goodbye to Thailand, and live in Australia for 2 years, and then when I hit 67 on my birthday, I'll be going into Centrelink there and saying, right, there it is, and then I can leave. Yeah. There was I used to think there was a country where there's a bilateral agreement with about 12 countries around the world that Australia has, where you can live and still get part of the Commonwealth. I'm not sure how it works. I thought that maybe I could spend 2 years in one of those countries rather than go back to Australia. Okay? I mean, there must be cheaper options in countries that I could go back to. And I know that one of those countries was Malta, and another one was I think Croatia, something like that, in Eastern Europe. There's a few others. I think Japan is one, or maybe Korea. But apparently that's not the case. That's not the case. It's a long way off. I'm not going to go chasing up the details of what exactly the situation is, and things change over such a long time too. So, look, all I know is that 100% certainly is that in 2 years from now, I turn 60 and I can get my superannuation, which includes all my employer contributions throughout my working life and my own contribution into that superannuation throughout my working life. And I have two options with that. And most Aussies are the same. Okay, you can take it as a lump sum. Okay, so you can just say, right, I want to be paid out lump sum, and they'll transfer it into your Australian only bank account. All right, we're talking upwards of $1 million, right? Now, or you can take it as a pension. So if it's making good, if the fund is making good money on what you have in there, and you don't want to take it out and have to worry about reinvesting yourself and what you're going to do, you can leave it there and just take a pension off it. Take a small amount of whatever amount you want per month, what you need to live on, like a pension. And that way it's still going to keep growing, all right? Or it's still going to be earning from the investments it's in, and you just don't take that whole lump sum. So unless I want to go out and buy a 5 million baht house or something over here, do I really need that much cash? I could just take it as a pension and then scale that out to last you till you hit your retirement age. So that's an option. That's not what I'm going to do though. I have other plans. I'm taking that lump sum. I'm taking that cash. Thank you very much. I'm going to invest that in my own way over here. So that's what I'm going to do. 67, 69 for 2-year portable. Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, America's probably worse. I'm not sure. Yeah. Anyway. 69. Oh, 67. Yeah, I'm 65 till 67. I was born in 67. All right. I get my pension at 67. It's just a coincidence, isn't it? But that's a long way off. I've got to survive until then. I'm over here now, so I'll be fine. When I go back to Australia, I don't mind living there. My sister's probably got a spare bedroom. She can put me up there in Queensland on the Gold Coast. I'm sure. She's probably not watching, so it's okay. There we go. Yeah, but you need to do all that sort of research before you decide to retire anywhere, really. Oh yeah, a 62-year-old can be given in any country at 62. Oh yeah, that'd be nice. If they lowered the age, that'd be fine. The last thing I'd want is for them to raise the age. That would not be fine at all. Terrible. You want to come in with me, and I'm going to order my cappuccino. All right? I'll take you guys with me. Okay. I'll turn the camera around. Here's the busy road I was talking about. As soon as I point the camera, there's no traffic. Hey, typical. All right. Let's go in here and get my coffee. Hello. Okay. Good. Cup. Thank you. I have cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
Hot cappuccino.
Hot cappuccino.
Yeah. There you go, guys. Look at that. If anyone wants to pay for my coffee, just scan that for me, will you? Just joking. It's only 55 for a cup of coffee. That's very good. That's about normal. It's about $2, $2.10 Australian, about $1.40 US. That's all. Christmas is coming. Got some decorations up for Christmas. That's something I meant to. Maybe I can ask this guy here. Do Thais celebrate Christmas? You speak a little bit English? English okay? Yeah. Do Thais celebrate Christmas?
Yes.
You do. You're Buddhist, but you celebrate Christmas, yeah?
Buddhist, I Buddhist, yes.
Yes.
But Thai people like long vacation, long like all celebration, Chinese,
Yeah.
Christmas, Chinese, อะไรตรุษจีน New Year of Chinese,
Just has
Thailand, life and
Yeah.
like all
Yeah.
celebration.
It's like a different meaning. It's like giving and gifts and things. So, okay. But you have like Christmas decorations. Yeah, you do. That's good. Yeah. Good. Okay, is it okay? I sit outside? I wait outside, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you. Cup. Okay, so there you go. I've never been in Thailand for Christmas. So, you know, I've always had to be at work for Christmas. It's usually the busiest time of the year and you have to be working at work. They rarely give you holidays over Christmas. So I've never really been in another country to see. Just before the pandemic broke out, I was in Africa, and that was pretty close to Christmas. I'm just trying to remember what the time of the year that was. So yeah, I think Christmas, yeah, straight after Christmas. Some of the countries in Africa, I don't know how seriously they take Christmas, especially not in the local areas. When I was in Africa in 2019, it was I was in Kenya, Rwanda, Tanzania, and Uganda. Anyway, so there we go. 62, yes. No Thai office. Philippines embassy will do US pension info. Okay. And be aware, I don't know about the US embassy, but here in Chiang Mai, there's no Australian embassy. Apparently it closed down, embassy or consulate. It closed down during COVID. There's only the Bangkok one now. But what they do is you can, once every couple of months, they have a place up here where they send a consulate member and they announce on the website where you can go and do all your paperwork and passport stuff and everything you need up here at meeting at wherever the location is that they set up for a couple of days. So that's really good. Yeah, but passports are pretty easy too. I think I did a video on that, renewing your passport. I'm not sure, or it was in one of my videos about it, where for an Australian passport it's quite simple to do. You just fill out the form, send it to the embassy in Bangkok with a return self-addressed envelope inside, and within 2 weeks they'll send back your brand new renewed passport. Banking is a whole different thing though. That's caused me quite a few dramas. So I don't think I've got one in my wallet. Let me have a quick check. Yes, I do. So I have a Queensland Suncorp bank card, Visa debit card, right? And I tell you now, if I was to put that into a machine over here to take money out of my bank account, that will get swallowed up, and the machine won't give it back because this has been cancelled. This card has been cancelled, and the reason it got cancelled is a whole other drama story that went on for 3 weeks. But when I sorted all that out, they promised to reissue me with a new card and send it to me to the postal address I had on file with the bank. All right? Okay, that was 7 weeks ago. I'm still waiting. 7 weeks ago. Now, what if you're a tourist and you don't have a Thai bank account and that was your funds from your home country? I can't access my money. I've got no card. I can't get money out of an ATM. It's been 7 weeks. It's actually, if you include the 3 weeks of them putting a lock on my account, it's 11 weeks all up. 11 weeks that right now I would, if I didn't have a Thai bank account, I would have no access to any money. So make sure you have plenty of
Would
backup.
you want syrup or sugar?
Yeah, one sugar. Yeah. Make sure you really do have backup plans and cards. So I have you just turned on the sprinkler system and it's created a mist across the front here, watering all the plants. It's really cool. So basically, I'd have been in big trouble. But I do have a bank account, and I've had that for a few years, and it's not an issue. That's where my money is. But yeah, I'm still waiting on that card. So yeah, and you know what? That to this day, I don't know exactly why they froze my bank account in Australia. I felt like I was a Russian or something. They've sanctioned me. No bills would come out of that account. My Netflix and my eBay account, money would not come out. I got completely cut off by Netflix when it was my monthly account was rejected. Noisy truck. And all right, we got some sugar. Oh, it's like it's a syrup sort of sugar. Okay? I don't know how strong it is, so I won't put too much. Sugar cane, maybe? I don't know. So, let me just test my coffee. Make sure it's up to my standards. Oh, yeah, it's good. Yep, definitely good. It needs a bit more sugar though. It's not very strong. So for some unknown reason, the American IRS needed me. They're the ones who ordered my account get locked, and then I had to fill out a form declaring that I was not a US citizen. I never was. I've been an Australian citizen all my life. What the hell? Where does that come from? But until I filled out that form and submitted it, which was a drama of its own, my account remained locked. Ridiculous. And then, of course, after that, I had to fill out another form asking that was I a resident, an Australian resident for taxable reasons. Like, am I still an Australian tax resident? Well, of course I was. All right. I did my tax this year. My last tax before I resigned from work. I've done that this year, and I've been paying tax all my life in Australia. No reason why I'm not working here in Thailand. I'm not a citizen here in Thailand. But somehow, I think once it clicked over that I'd been away out of the country for more than 6 months, something must have gone back to the bank account, and they just suddenly needed another form filled out declaring that I am still a taxable resident of Australia. Go figure that out. So that was done. But my account was still not unlocked. 2 weeks had gone by. The number of emails backwards and forwards through the secure messaging system from the internet banking with Suncorp, there were dozens and dozens. And the next thing they wanted, my account was in a business name. Alright, so years and years ago I had a photography business, okay, and I opened up a business account. Now I never really used it, and the business, I let that expire, alright, so the business name went and disappeared, but I left the account. I didn't even think about it. I still had the cards and my account under the business name. Now they wanted, oh, you can't have an account under the name of business that doesn't exist. It needs to be changed into your name. I said, well, why are you telling me this now when I haven't had that business that has been unregistered now for about 6 years, 7 years? Why is it making a difference now? Well, they couldn't answer any of these questions, but again, I had to verify myself and give them evidence that the business no longer exists, and give them all my personal identification again for them to change my account into my name, right? Even though I had credit debit cards in my name, there was just one account that had the business name. Oh, anyway, it finally got sorted out and it worked. All of a sudden I checked and I could suddenly take money and put money in, and I thought, good, the account's working again. I got my Netflix back on and all the rest of it happening, and PayPal now will come out of it. But since that happened, now if any money goes into my account in Australia, straight away I take it out. I don't trust them anymore, because to this day they never told me why it happened and that it won't happen again. Alright? And like I said, I'm still waiting 7 weeks later for them to send me out my new ATM Visa card. There you go. So now my money goes straight up into Wise. Okay, so Wise, I think I have it in here. Maybe I don't. I don't carry everything around just in case I was to lose my wallet or anything. But no. So I don't have it, but Wise have a card as well. It's online, of course. When money goes into my Australian Suncorp account, I directly, straight away, put it up into Wise. It costs me nothing. It sits up there. It's not earning interest, but I don't have much money, so it doesn't matter. And it sits there. And then when I need to transfer money into my Bangkok bank account here, just a few clicks on the Wise app on my phone, and usually within hours or minutes or immediately, that money is straight into my Bangkok bank account. Not a problem. So, but I don't trust my Suncorp account again. You know, all tied up. How are you, buddy? Welcome, mate. We'll have to catch up again for another coffee. Welcome, mate. Yep. What's this? Hi. How are you enjoying living in Thailand from Scott, New Zealand? Yes, mate. Hey, Scott Green. Welcome. Oh, loving it, mate. Absolutely loving it. I'm really happy here. There's no other place I'd rather be. You know, I mean, sure, I'd love to have a villa in Monaco, or you know, somewhere down on the Maldives, a hut on an island there. But for where I'm at now, this is great. This is great. You know, whenever you're up for it, mate, no problem. Yeah, good one, mate. Listen, I would really, yeah, things are going really well, and I'm enjoying myself. I'm enjoying it, really good. I don't have a lot of friends over here. I really, to be honest, I only have one mate, and that's my ex-girlfriend's sister's husband. A friend that lives nowhere near here. He lives in another place a long way from here, but he's in Thailand as well, and I talk to him at least a couple of times a week. But I've been a pretty loner person anyway. Back in Sydney, I don't have many friends, and work friends were okay when you worked, but I don't have work anymore, so I don't. The condo where I live is quite well known here in Chiang Mai, and it's very popular for expats and people moving here, and you know, it's a great place. There's one particular guy I've met there that's been there for 23 years. That's how long he's been living at his condo. You know, he's moved in different condos in the same building over the years, but he's always been there. And there's a lot of locals here that I bump into in the pool, or down in the going outside in the 7-Eleven, or in the restaurants in the street, just walking around. And you guys, I bump into YouTube subscribers, you know, channel subscribers quite often too, particularly if I go into Chiang Mai itself, in the busier areas. I'll occasionally have someone come up to me and go, "Oh, I know you, I've seen you on YouTube," you know. Or you get people that'll look at you, but they're not sure, so they won't say anything, but you know they recognize you from somewhere, you know. It's really good. And if you do see me out there walking around, come up and say hello, you know. As long as you're not a troll, or you're, you know, not trying to rip my head off or assassinate me. Yeah, always, yeah, say hello. Oh, thank you. So, I've always been alone for quite a while, and I enjoy that freedom. I'm not out looking for a female companion long term at the moment, not even short term actually. All right, I'm just waiting that one day I might be sitting here at a coffee shop like this, and I might just meet somebody just like that. Right? That might happen. I'm not going out looking, and I'm just enjoying myself. You know, I go home, I do what I want, I go back to my condo, I have a hobby, I build model kits, you know, I build airfix and trumpeter and Tamiya kits and stuff, and I'm building a ship at the moment by Academy, this war frigate, World War II frigate, that called the Airlie Burke. Anyway, I'm building that, so I've got all the equipment set up there, and I'm building all this model ship. I've built Formula One cars, motorbike kits, tanks, all sorts of stuff. I love doing that sort of thing. And when I build them, I give them away to coffee shops like this that have a shelf somewhere to display it. You know, it's a hobby. You know, I don't drink. Right, I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, but everything else keeps me busy, and getting out and making these YouTube videos and sharing the experiences that I'm going through is great, and just the feedback I get from everybody, and blah 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 blah. You know, that's all. That's it. That's what it's all about. You know, you got to enjoy what you're doing. You know, but then again, Scott saying, "What's that? That's good." Jack Reed coming back Thailand in March. All right, going to Chiang Mai, see my mate Bruce Josephine, going to Pattaya for my birthday on the 17th. Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, I haven't been to Chiang Mai for a long time, at least 10 years. I'm going to head out there at some point. Yeah, so I have plenty to keep me busy here, that's for sure. And you know, I don't have any particular routine or habit, you know, like you do when you're back home. You get up, you know, go to work, come home, and just do this rinse and repeat over and over. I do what I feel like doing. If I want to go home, if I want to go back to the condo and sit on my PC and start playing my game online and sit there for the next 10 hours, 12 hours, I will, because I can, because that's what I want to do, and I'm doing what I want to do, you know. Then if someone contacts me and say, hey, you want to come out with a group of motor scooter riders, we're going on an adventure ride like I did last week, sure. And I did, and I went out and met these guys, and we went for a ride up into the mountains and had a great time. I didn't video it, nothing to do with YouTube. I just did it because I had my own bit of fun, got out. And I discovered a few nice places that I might go back to and video and make a YouTube of. But, you know, not everything I do is for YouTube, it's for my own enjoyment. So met some great people from Holland and other places as well. So that was great. And of course the YouTube stuff, I go out and do videos, you know, just, you know, like anyone else does. Pick a subject, you know, or go to a place, different events, you know, different festivals that are on now. Lots of festivals coming up this time, heaps of stuff. And of course my model building, which is a whole channel on its own, getting up to about 6,000 subscribers on that. If you're interested, Oz Scale Modelling. Maybe you want to start a hobby while you're living over here or when you retire. You've got to have a hobby. When you stop working, you can get bored really quick. And if you drank a little bit while you were working, you're going to drink more when you retire. And health-wise, it's not good for you, okay? I don't care what anyone says. It's not good for you drinking alcohol. Socially, it might be okay. It's fine. You know, that's good, all that. But and it's not like I don't drink because I don't like the taste of alcohol. I love a Chiang beer or a bourbon and coke. I'm never in a situation in my surroundings where I need to go and have one, you know. I don't know, unless I get enough requests from you guys out there to do a video on one of the bars, I'll have to go and sample the merchandise, won't I? I'm talking about the alcohol there, nothing else. The exchange rate's poor at the moment. I heard the US is up around 33 point something. I heard the US exchange rate's pretty good here at the moment. I don't know what. I always base it on about 20, it's about 22 Aussie dollars to the baht. So I just go by 20. If it's 100 baht, it costs me $5. That's the way I look at it, you know. So, you know, I look at a cup of coffee like this, it costs me less than $3. This is still half the price of what it would cost me to have a cappuccino in an establishment anything like this in Australia. You'd be paying at least double that, right? Surely a cappuccino coffee has got to be about $6 now, $6 or $7 at least. Yeah, I don't know. I'm really going to be in for a shock when I do go back before I retire at the cost of everything. Oh, it's going to be miserable. I know it's a long way off. It's a way long way off, but it's going to happen and I'm not going to enjoy it. But I'm sure I'll go back to Australia before then as well. You know, I plan when I collect my superannuation payout, I'm going to fly back to Australia then and catch up with family and everyone then. So I'll certainly realise what the cost is. And another problem I had too was my driver's license. My Australian driver's license expired in August this year. All right. And now I thought, and I was told before I left, that I can just do it online and they will send it to me wherever I am. Or I could get it sent to my sister's address, which is the address I actually changed my driver's license to. All right, I thought, great, no problem. It expires, I'll just renew it online. Well, that was a mistake. After a certain number of years, since you last had your photo taken for your license, they won't accept. You have to actually have your photo, and to get your photo taken has to be done at the motor registry in Australia. So I can't renew my license overseas because they need to take my photographs for the new license. Now, The good news is that my motorcycle and driver's license, which are in one on Australian license, they're both on the one license. The good news is that you can have your license expired for up to 5 years, right, before it needs to be re-examined again. You have to sit your licenses all over again. So I've got 5 years, which I will, because I'm going back in a couple of years at the latest for my superannuation, to go back and then just pay whatever it costs to renew my license, and I'll get it and it'll be fine. So that's a good thing. As for being over here, and the only problem is that it's now no good as a form of identification, okay, because it's expired. But that's okay, because in Thailand here I have a Thai driver's license now. Well, motorcycle license here, because I only ride a motorcycle. I could have got the driver's one as well. I just didn't want to, I don't know, I just didn't think of it at the time. But I do know when I go and renew this one, which is, there's my nice pretty Thai driver's motorcycle license. Over here they have a license for each one, so you'll get another one if you have a car license. You'll have two. This is good for 2 years. What everyone tells you about getting your license over here, Thai license, don't pay someone to get it done for you. They literally cost 120 baht. You walk in, you get it done, you walk out, and you got your license. All right, it's a little bit more. Maybe it's another 200 baht for the driver's one. But when I go and renew this in 2 years, the woman said, when you come and renew this, just pay the 200 and we'll give you your car one as well. So, and then when you do renew it, it costs a bit more, but that's because it's valid for 5 years. Okay, so it's about 500 and something baht. Okay, but I've used that for ID now. And I mean, all right, you can show your passport, but nobody carries their passport around. All right, you keep that somewhere safe. You don't even need to carry photocopies. If anything, I just have a photograph of my passport on my phone. That's all I need. But the license you carry with you everywhere, and I've used that for ID when I go to the hospital. They asked for my passport. I said, "This okay?" "Yep, that's fine." Most places will accept your Thai driver's license as ID. So I'm not too concerned about not having my Australian driver's license anymore. And that. So sorry, I'll catch up on chat. Chiang Mai is great for doing whatever. Yeah, doing nothing, chilling out, or keep busy as you like. It is. It's really good. Is Bang Sarai a good place to visit? That's down near Pattaya, isn't it? I'm sure. I think that's down near Pattaya. Not sure. I've been there. I just don't remember. If you robbed that bank, you get locked up. Yet the bank can legally rob you. Hey, Hobby Time. That's right. Exactly. Yeah, they can rob me. Yeah, and get away with it. And after all that, not even assure you that it won't all happen again. You know, it's crazy. Has anyone been to Colombia? What's it like, Colombia? Well, that'd be a totally different climate. See, being Aussie and from the beaches. I mean, I grew up in Sydney. I used to go to beaches all the time. Maroubra Beach was one of my favourite beach spots all the time. Queensland and Sunshine, the Gold Coast, Surfers Paradise, beaches. Colombia, I don't think has beaches, and this climate here suits me. You know, I don't mind living here in the high 30s. It's fine. I'm a skinny guy. You know, I'm a real skinny guy. There's no fat on me. You know, I don't hardly sweat. I don't feel the heat like a bigger person does. So, although I must admit, earlier this year when it hit 44 degrees Celsius, that was a tad warm. And those high temperatures for day after day, week after week, oh, yeah, you do appreciate the aircon a bit more. But just riding a motorbike and feeling that heat, it's like somebody's got a hairdryer blowing in your face. But I can deal with that. That's all right with me. It's all right with me. This is another noisy tractor going by. There we go. Creating a traffic jam of motor scooters that can't get past him. So yeah, this is another reason why whatever country you're planning to retire in other than your own, you need to at least visit there for a few weeks first and get used to it. All right, you know, you got to. You just got to, because you don't want to get disappointed and go, oh damn, I can't stand this, I can't handle it. And I was right on the edge when we up here in the smoky season. Oh my God, I'd heard about it, never experienced it, and we had one of the worst years for quite a bit this year. And there was about, I would say about 1 week, 1.5 weeks where it was rated as the pollution level was the worst in the world, and it was really noticeable. I mean, it was like the house next door's on fire and you're standing in the smoke. That's what it was like. Not healthy, not good for you. And I will seriously be thinking about going away for at least 4 or 5 weeks of probably late March, April next year. Yeah. Somewhere down south, although now I'm even thinking Vietnam. I might even go over to Vietnam just to have a look and see. So just to check out Vietnam and you know, just spend some time there. We'll see. That's an option. I've got to get back in, I have to check the date on my visa, but my yearly retirement extension of stay visa will be up around about that time too, so I've got to make sure I'm here for that. What else we got? Yeah, it is South past Pattaya. Yeah, it is nice down there. It is. But don't go to Pattaya and places down south just because of the beaches, because when you think about it, not many people actually swim in the beach. You know, people put their beach towel down and lay down and get a tan, but have a look and see how many of them actually will get up and go in the water. Very, very few. I mean, you can do that by your hotel pool anywhere in Thailand. So go down for the atmosphere, I guess. You know, the holiday atmosphere. The coast is beautiful. The water looks beautiful. Go in the water. It's beautiful down there. Although, when I was in Koh Chang the year before last, I went down there for a few weeks, and I forgot what it was like in the ocean, in the water. We stayed in this nice resort right on the beach. It had a beautiful pool. Swimming in the pool was beautiful, you know. And then time came, I got out and said, right, I'm going to run down into the water and dive into the beach. Run down, cross the sand, rush out into the surf. Holy shit, it was like running into a hot bath. It was seriously like running into a hot bath. Nothing refreshing about it at all. I'm in there, up to my chest in water, and the waves coming in, and I thought, oh man, this is so strange. It's so warm. It's like a bath. So I mean, yeah, straight back out and jump in the cool resort swimming pool. So like for me, going down south to the beaches and the islands and doing that would be a holiday for me, to go away from here and go down there and maybe do that. And that may be around smoky season. We'll see. Hey Jack, hey, I'm from America and I visited Europe before and I've gone to a couple of countries. What advice would you say for someone from the America is traveling to Thailand? Mate, I've heard that America's just in just in the last few days, they're doing direct flights from America now. There's no stopping off and different connecting flights now. They're actually, I don't know what airlines it is. It might be Thai Airways doing direct flights here now, so that's good. But look, I got a few in America that come here, and a few friends. Do it. That's it. That's what I say to you, man. Do it. Okay. It's going to be what you expect or better. Okay. So you can't miss out. You can't lose. Don't hang out in Bangkok. Bangkok is a big city like anywhere else in the world. It's hot, it's polluted, it's busy. All right, but you're going to fly into Bangkok anyway, most likely. My advice would be head up north, up here to Chiang Mai first for a week or so, at least for a week or more than a week. You want about 10 days, 2 weeks minimum up here in Chiang Mai, and then fly down south and do the islands and beaches and Koh Samui and Koh Phangan and all the islands and Pattaya, if that's your thing. Do all that for the last 2 weeks or so of your holiday, because that's the way. You get a taste of both the traditional, cultural up here in the north way of life to the more touristy resort island paradise type of thing, you know. So there you go. Cartagena, beautiful, right? My wife's from Bogota. I probably pronounced that wrong. She's got New Zealand. Is it safer than travelling to Thailand than other countries? Wow. Yes. I think, I don't know, statistically I think it is, yeah, and from other people's experiences I think it is safer. From my experience, yeah, it's safe, you know, you know, it's all relevant, isn't it? It's where you are. I mean, I can go for a walk at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I can go down past the river where I go most mornings, and there'll be young kids down there drinking alcohol and smoking and, you know, in groups down there, and they just totally ignore me. Or if I do say hello, they'll be nice and say hello back. There's no threat. There's no threat here. And I can walk around. I can leave the keys in my motorbike anywhere. No problem. If you accidentally leave your mobile phone somewhere, there's a good chance it'll still be there when you go back and check the next day. Theft is not a high thing here, and there's not much violence here that I've come across. You know, a few domestic arguments you might hear now and then, but no, you can walk around safely, and male or female, it's not an issue. You know, females, God, it's probably, I would say one of the safest countries in the world to walk around at night at any time as a female. A blonde, Western, foreign, white female, you're very unlikely to have any problem at all, you know? And I mean, that must be a big plus, you know? But, you know, I've been to countries too where I can honestly say, just through my walking about, that I've been to Johannesburg in South Africa. So I've walked around the city of Joburg at night, where I've seen cars on fire on the side streets. I've seen gangs everywhere, right? And here I am, a white person, walking down to the local McDonald's in a local neighbourhood in the middle of the city, and I felt unsafe, but I was not threatened. I had no problems. I had been saved a few times, I think, by opening my mouth and speaking because people recognised I had an Australian accent, that saved me any possible problems in the past in some countries, including America. I can go back 15 years and tell you that I was driving a Pontiac, a brand new Pontiac convertible through the Bronx in New York, late in the afternoon, completely lost, with a backpack on the back seat, convertible, and I pulled over and I seen this black guy and I had to ask for directions. I was completely lost. We're talking before the days of mobile phones. This was the days of fold-out maps. And I was trying to get onto the New Jersey Turnpike so I could head up towards Rhode Island. So I pulled over and I seen this black guy, right? And I asked, first of all, the thing I said was, g'day mate, straight up, there's my Aussie, they know, he knows. I said, do you think you could give me some directions? I'm trying to get onto the New Jersey Turnpike and head north. He wanders over, swaggers over, right? Looks at me, looks around in the car, sees my backpack on the back, says, yo, something like this. Then I look in my rear view mirror, notice I'm pointing that way because you're sitting on the wrong side of the car in the US. And I look behind, I see in the rear view mirror about 5 other black guys appeared out of nowhere walking up behind the car. I thought, oh, this is not good. And then they came and stood around. The first guy, he did some hand signal to his friends and they chilled out. And he ended up giving me directions and they were having a joke and, talking about kangaroos and koala bears and stuff, and it was all cool. And he told me, do this, go this way, get onto the eye, whatever it is, and fine. I said, thanks man, cheers, have a good one guys. And I went, they had a good laugh. If I was an American, a white American sitting there in that car, man, that car would have been up on jacks, the wheels have been gone, the backpack he would have had been gone, the money would be gone, everything. I think just because I was an Australian. So I don't know if we still have that reputation in the US or around the world so much anymore, but but is it safer than travelling to Thailand and other countries? Yes, it is safer here. Yes. Oh, New Zealand, terribly expensive, and so is Australia. I met a New Zealander Kiwi the other day who was talking to me. He said it's just terrible the way it's gotten. He says, we're worse than Australia. Yeah, it's just gone to shit. Hibbo, hello Hibbo, how are you, buddy? As a female, you dress up again, Pete? No, I don't dress up. You won't see me from the waist down in my skirt. I'll never show you me from my waist down. Don't you know, I was always a lady boy. I always was. I just always had it in me, I just come out of the closet. Oh gosh. I left my phone on my bike yesterday while getting street food, yeah. The store owner took it off and gave it to me when I returned. Exactly. And I'll tell you something that happened too. About 3 days I went up to the Rimping supermarket to do my shopping. They're redoing the car park up there, right? So I've gone and parked, and as I've gone in I thought, oh, where are all the motorbikes? Where do I park? So I just parked in a car spot right on the other side of the car park, and I saw the security guard in the distance, and I pointed to my bike and I give a thumbs up and he goes, no problem. And then when I walked down past him, he pointed and he showed me there's a bike area now for you parking. I said, okay, I didn't see that because they're still building this car park, right? And I saw all the bikes there and I thought, okay, next time I'll park there. So I go in and do my shopping, right? I walk out with my trolley, walk across the road, I see the security guard, give him a nod, walk past, I look and there's a bike right there in the shade under this umbrella, right at the beginning of the car park. I thought, that looks like my helmet. That's my bike. He bought my bike all the way from the other side of the car park and put it over here where he knew I'd come walking out to the supermarket, and parked it in the shade for me. Hey, how about that? I'm like, wow, excellent, fantastic. That's brilliant. And it was only a few months ago, well now, you know, gosh, time's going so quick over here. Several months ago, I was at the same supermarket, right, where I walked out. This is before I had a motorbike that I was renting. I was still using the Uber or Grab motorbikes and taxis to get around, and cars. I walked out there and I'd ordered a car to pick me up, Grab, and I was standing there with my shopping bags, and the security guard there, he came over when he saw the Grab come up. He opened the boot, walked over to me, took my shopping bags and put them in the boot for me, then held the door open, and I got in the car and off I went. I felt like I was freaking some movie star or something. Brilliant service, hey, how's that? And I actually did a video short of that, you know, so I filmed it because I was doing a video at the time on the cost of shopping here in Thailand, your food and everything. So I videotaped him taking my bags and putting them in the boot and doing that, and I put the short up, and it got heaps of thousands of views. It was really good. And you know, and then I got stupid comments where people have gone, oh, you must have paid him to do that. I said, I didn't pay him to do that at all. It's just the way they are here. They see someone and they offer their service to make your life a little bit easier. You know, just the other day, at night, it was getting dark. Up the road from where I live, there's one set of traffic lights just for people crossing the road, not an intersection. And I was just down a bit from there, and the cars were going past. It was pretty busy. This old guy in his 80s, old fella, Thai guy, walked up, grabbed my hand, held my hand, walked me up the road to the traffic lights, pressed the button, the lights changed, he walked me across the road, and he goes, kap kun ka, and then left me at the other side of the road. Because he knew I'd be standing there for ages trying to cross the road, so he walked me up to the traffic lights. Excellent. Scott Green, yes. Is the street food safe to eat? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't know how sensitive you are to food and how good your stomach is. But you know, I've been all over the world, and I've eaten all sorts of foods in all sorts of places in some of the worst conditions you could imagine as well, and I rarely got sick. My stomach's probably quite strong. I have had a bad case of dysentery twice in India, but that's sort of expected after nearly 6 months, about 5 months travelling through there. No, here, not a problem. The food is fine here. In fact, I really believe, and it happens in most countries, I haven't really tested it here, I don't know, but if you go into these more expensive restaurants that don't get as many customers, they're the most likely places you might get food poisoning or sick. Mainly because they have a refrigerator and freezer, and they freeze products because they don't have the turnover. Very hard to find a place like that because most places are busy, especially if there's a lot of Thai people eating there, then you know it's going to be fine. And anywhere that's busy is going to be fine because there's a turnover of food constantly. Nothing's sitting out in the elements for long at all. Now, having said that, I've eaten from street stalls on the road where they've got cooked chicken, fried chicken sitting there. That's probably been sitting there for about 4 or 5 hours at least. No problem. Been fine, tastes great. In most cases, and I'm talking from a food handling background, if a product is cooked properly, it's most likely going to be okay. All right. So even if the chicken or the meat was starting to go off, being out in the sun, in the heat, unrefrigerated, you cook that properly, you're not going to get sick because the bacteria is killed in the cooking process. The harmful bacteria is killed. It's only when things aren't cooked properly, like, you know, the chicken's not cooked all the way through, rare steak, yeah, that's where you take a little bit more risk. But no, the food here is completely safe. You can eat anything, anytime, no problem at all. It's all good. It's really, really fine. It's probably not the healthiest, okay? Probably not the healthiest. I don't think they use the best oil, and everything's fried in oil, a lot of stuff. Recently I bought an air fryer, and I do a lot of my own cooking, my chicken and pork and stuff at home. Just throw it in the air fryer, and much healthier than it's sitting in those woks on the side of the street with all that oil in it. It can't be the healthiest. So that's one option. But yeah, being here long term, I used to go, when I first got here, I'd eat every meal out. But as I started to do a bit more shopping and grocery shopping now, I buy stuff now, and I have breakfast at home. I have my normal cereal like I usually do. Lunch, I might have ham sandwiches. I buy ham at the supermarkets. But dinner, I'll toss up between going out and cooking my own. I do it sort of 50-50. So, yeah. Dentists are cheap in Thailand. Yes, they are. Yeah, very, very cheap. I've got terrible teeth, and I need a whole new Tom Cruise veneer set done, top and bottom, implants top and bottom. I need the whole lot. Yeah, I was a bad kid growing up, drinking Coca-Cola, and yeah, my teeth are rotten. It's one of my first major expenses once I get my superannuation money will be to book in to get my teeth done. And I've already checked the price last year to get upper and lower 4-point implants. So what they do is they just rip out all your teeth, completely take your teeth out, and then they drill the mounts into your gum, and then they build your new teeth. They make your new teeth, and then they fit them in permanent. A superstar smile I'll have, and that's something could never afford in Australia. We're talking in Australia close to $100,000, you know, $80,000, something ridiculous like that. Over here, I can get the same work done, top quality, of course. I was looking at about $40,000, around $40,000. Okay, so yeah. Unfortunately, when I grew up, I have two phobias in life. Okay, one was a dentist. Okay, I had a dentist phobia, which I'm paying for now because I never went to the dentist when I was young. And the other one I developed about 10 years ago, which was the fear of heights. So, but the dental one I've sort of gotten over a bit now. I've had some emergency dental work in Australia I had to get done. I had no choice. And the dentist was really good, and it took my fear away, and I was okay. So yeah, so I'm not too concerned about that. So that's good. But, yeah, Thai culture revolves around food. Yeah, if it's busy, it's good. That's right, and that goes for anywhere in the world. Any restaurant that's got a lot of people in it. I mean, the 2 times I got sick in India, and I remember those times well because I was very, very sick, dehydrated, you know, with dysentery. One was in Varanasi, was at a restaurant where there was nobody else eating in there, and the food was just probably off. The chicken was off. I know the chicken was off. In fact, I know, I'm not even going to go into the story of how that food made me sick. It's disgusting. So both times in India it was from eating at what I thought was a good restaurant. You're very safe with this, the safe one. Rick saying, I recommend you get as many implants. Yeah, it'll increase the amount of sensitivity when chewing food. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how that. I don't know what you mean by that. I'm getting the whole top and bottom done. I have to. My teeth are that bad. They've all got to come out. It has to be all top. The only thing I've been told by the dentist when I went last year is to keep my gums in good condition, because that's where they need to drill into the bone for the mounts. But the x-rays I had back then showed that my gums were fine. So that's it. Sorry guys, I think we cut out there for a bit. I just saw the signal drop. Anyway, we're back. It's all right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to get all that sorted out. I'll be happy when that's done. So anyway, everybody, look how long we've been going for. 1 hour and 50 minutes. Fantastic. We've never got below about 15-20 people watching, so that's good. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Watch my other videos. It's all interesting stuff there, particularly if you're planning to move and live here and want to know all the processes you're going to go through, what they are, how to do it, and then what you can expect, at least here in Chiang Mai. As the channel progresses, we'll be spreading out, visiting other places and doing stuff, and visiting other areas of Thailand as well. So it's all good. Fruit's very cheap, yeah, and vegetables are fresh. I didn't eat vegetables back in Australia. Everything's frozen. In fact, even the fruit's frozen in Australia. You wouldn't believe how much fruit's frozen at supermarkets. You think it's fresh. No, it's freshly thawed, okay? There's a difference. I used to work in a supermarket. Used to do security in their distribution centre, in their big freezers where they keep all the bananas and everything and ripen them all up. And sometimes up to 12 months they could have stuff stored in there before it gets on the shelf. Yeah. Here, it's fresh every day fresh, and I enjoy the taste of vegetables. I'm eating vegetables I never used to like before. Spinach, I never ate spinach in my life. I love spinach now. Anyway guys, thank you all for watching. Got a video coming out next week. It'll be part 3 of my Thai trip, and I'll probably do something, another walking, talking video in the next few days as well. I'll put that out. And if you're interested, a great online free game is called Once Human. Jump in there, all right? If you want to, you might find me. My character's name is Wind Hunter. Okay, Wind Hunter. All right, yeah. So friend me. All right, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, whatever it is, wherever you are. And thank you all to the new people that came in and said hello in chat. That was great. And to everybody, I'll catch us all in the next one. I'm going to go pay for my coffee now and head off and take the long way back home. All right. And thanks, All Tied Up, my #1 and only subscriber that's a member. There's another option there. You can become a member of the channel. Get that pretty little star next to your name. That'd be great. The channel's growing quite well. I'm really happy. And it's growing with a lot of good subscribers. People that are, motivated. Oh, this place is noisy for a Sunday. See yous, catch yous, bye.